More than 500 aboriginal groups once inhabited the Australian continent, about 250,000 people in total. Around 38 tribes occupied the land of Victoria, all sharing core beliefs, but having varied lives and languages. Tribes had agreements with their neighbours and lived within a generally peaceful, functional and stable structure. Family groups were small, with distinct territorial boundaries. They used ceremonies, shared customs and tradition to preserve their culture, beliefs and resources. The first European to land on Australian shores was Dutchman Willem Janszoon in 1606. James Cook's landing in 1770 led to the arrival of the first fleet to settle the mainland, the British having already gained a bloody footing in Tasmania. The approach was to eliminate any native people in their way as they took over the land. The first white settlement in Victoria was in Portland by the Henty family, farmers from Tasmania. The Convincing Ground massacre there in 1833 was the result of a dispute between colonisers and the Portland Grotguanara people about a beached whale. Broader interests were involved in the occupation of Victoria, specifically the Crown itself, but also powerful business groups keen to exploit the land. Squatters had occupied Aboriginal or Crown land to graze livestock without legal claim. These and the other interests formed political groups that succeeded in gaining almost all Aboriginal land essentially free. An unintended but general overall consequence of colonisation was a wave of epidemic diseases, including smallpox, measles and influenza, which spread ahead of the frontiers and completely annihilated many indigenous communities. Expansion of colonial settlements led to conflicts over land and resources, quickly resulting in violence. Indigenous people were directly hunted and brutally murdered. Massacres often took the form of mass shootings or driving groups off cliffs. Numerous accounts tell of colonists offering indigenous people food laced with arsenic and other poisons. Cultural beliefs underpin all aspects of indigenous life, including connections to family, community and country. Using spoken language, ceremonies, symbols, cultural events, storytelling, dance, music and art. Aboriginal qualities are marked personally by a holistic sense of oneness, self-control, self-reliance and courage, and communally by kinships, friendship, empathy, interdependence, responsibility for others, and respect for land, environment and country. Aboriginal spiritual identity and deep connection to the land is expressed in the dream time, describing the origin of life. In the beginning, the land was flat and empty. There were no trees or mountains, animals or people. The dreaming signifies the time when the creator spirits emerged. The landscape was changed as these spirits left their imprint on the land.